One thing I do like that other people do not, that I've noticed, they do not like the time jumping, but I kind of like that because it just shows that it's like, well, that's what happens with life. You know, you have these big events happen, but then like 2 years go by.
About the time jumping, number one, it is absolutely 100,000% vital. If you tried to somehow do this without time jumping, it would be impossible. So they had to tackle the time jumping. So there's that. The second thing is compare the time jumping they do in this show to every other instance of time jumping you've ever seen in any show, with the massive requisite exposition of 2 years have gone by. And they do it subtly and tactfully. They have like the baby's his name day, which is his second year. They just subtly slip that in. It takes you a little while to figure out that this has happened, that's happened. They don't just like exposit the living bullshit out of it. So I think they have to do the time jumping in order to tell the story, because the framework is there. You can't get around that. And they've done it artfully and really tactfully.
Oh, it's fine, yeah.
Yeah, that was nice after watching the exposition fest that was Lord of the
Rings. Yeah. Jesus Christ. Rings of exposition. I'm actually, as I approach these new episodes that are coming out, I'm excited. I can't wait to see it. I'm so glad they didn't release it all in one season dump. I'm glad they make you wait,
I kind of like having the option. I have enough self-control to, watch it an episode every few days, regardless of what they do, and I don't like to wait.
You're the rare person, Rob.
You are an iron-willed person. You're rare. I would have torn through the whole thing in one sitting. Absolutely 100%. When you watch everything in one sitting, nothing has quite as much impact. Plus, good for marketing, good for the show. Game of Thrones was kind of renowned for being like a water cooler kind of thing, where you're, working the douchebag cubicle job and you're at the water cooler and somebody shows up and you just, hey, you see Game of Thrones this week? And, boom, conversation, good to go. So they're definitely capitalizing on that. But anyway, time jumping. I get apprehensive when a new episode's coming out, because I know if not the next episode, then maybe the fifth one, they're going to replace little cutie pie Millie Alcock with, weird lesbian girl I'm kidding. She's not, I don't even know if she's a lesbian, truthfully. I'll miss Millie. I'll miss young Alicent. I'll miss them. And they're time jumping these people and replacing actors that I've kind of grown to like. I wonder how much they're going to be jumping. And they have to jump quite a bit because the entire story is like a 30-year span.
Don't ruin it.
Well, hopefully when they time jump, they'll spend half the episode on awkward exposition.
Lord of the Rings. Lord of the Rings. They're going to be jumping time. I guess it'd be a spoiler if I said how much or when.
You shut
whatever.
up and stop talking. I've stayed away from it and trying to forget the little bit they've mentioned in the other show. And
my guess, and here's my psychic prediction, 20 years.
You think they're going to have a big 20-year jump, or the entire length of the story?
20-year jump. It's going to be a 20-year jump so that whatever kids they're going to have in the near future are grown up and then can have their own conflicts, and we get to introduce new actors.
Do we have any shows that we can think of that handled it horribly, horribly badly?
Remember, Battlestar Galactica handled it really well.
What'd they do for the time jump? Refresh my memory. I've never gone back and watched that show a second time. It seems like a very ponderous watch. But anyway, go ahead. What'd they do? It's
when they found that one planet in the nebula that was barely habitable, but the nebula blocked them from detection. And so they had the big vote. They decided this wasn't going to be a command decision. This had to be voted on. And they voted to try to settle there. And
Ty showed up with a beard the next episode, and he was like a big proponent of staying.
Yes. And the next episode, it was a year later.
Mm-hmm.
And they didn't just wander around discussing all the events that had occurred in the last year. No, it was just a year later. You could see what was different. Everybody had gone through things, and you could tell, but they didn't beat you over the head with it like it was a frozen fish or something. I don't know why that came up with something to beat you over the head with.
Maybe like a Muppet thing.
Yeah, I think so. I think I was thinking of that Muppet guy.
So they took just another slice of life a year later. They didn't bother trying to bridge the gap with a bunch of awkward bullshit exposition or voiceover. It had been 1 year. We were on the planet. None of that bullshit. They were just subtle about it and figured if the audience can't keep up, then fuck them.